You're pretty confused at home. Remember the opening show back tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, ITV4. Start your Friday at Ascot with the opening show team. Richard.
Last couple going forward then are Theseus and Tranquil Night for the Britannia. 1 mile and a full complement right across the course of 30 runners for one of the spectacles of the week. And it will set final handler moves away. And they're off and racing. And from the stalls in the centre, Blenheim Boy, one of the first to show. Jimi Hendrix over on the far side with Mr McCann also showing pace. Amortentia, Power of Beauty over there in company at this stage with Lawful Command, who's not too far away. The grey is Amortentia tracking the leaders. Over on the far side, the spotted cap of Malix and Great Max are also well to the fore. Herbert's Reign in midfield with Thesis, and over on the far side, the noseband of My Little Tip. The greater runners over on the far side, Blenheim Boy, Yonafist, the Royal Runner Sarga's over there in company with One Niece. On the near side, there's just 4 of them, Tranquil Night, Harrow, Bolt Hole and Spin Around. So by far the bigger group over on the far side, and they have the lead early on. Out in the lead is Malix disputing it with Jimi Hendrix. Great Max right behind them with Mr McCann. Power of Beauty tracks the leaders. Barley not too far away. Lawful Command just ahead of Fiat McHugh and Amortentia. And then on the right hand side of that group, Who Put 50 in You, who's giving a lead into King of Time. 2 of the leading passes on the right hand side of the far side group, who still are ahead of Tranquil Night, Spin Around, Harrow, who's making some ground as the groups come together as they race with 2.5 furlongs to go. Jimi Hendrix has taken over from Power of Beauty, Barley, Lawful Command and Amortentia over on the far side. Great Max coming into it, Koi. Thesis travels okay. On the near side, Blenheim Boy and also Who Put 50 in You trying to get on terms. Lawful Command still leads with Jimi Hendrix behind these. Power of Beauty, Thesis over on the far side. Who Put 50 in You, Niece is also making good ground. They hit the furlong pole. Thesis on the far side, Jimi Hendrix, Saga for Her Majesty, the Queen is making ground. Who Put 50 in You as well. Out in the lead, Thesis, Saga coming hard on the run to the line. Thesis now just held on from Saga, who's got agonisingly close for Her Majesty. Jimi Hendrix, Who Put 50 in You, One Niece, Lawful Command. Yonafist next across the line. Fiat McHugh behind these was Ribby. Koi was next. Kitsuna Power, and they turn all the way back to My Little Tip. First impressions were that Saga's got close, but hasn't quite got close enough. And once again, Ryan Moore might have been the nemesis for Frankie Dettori. A hit between them. Who Put 50 in You may just get the ball for 3rd place. That's very close actually. Jimi Hendrix possibly. Who Put 50 in You, then Lawful Command. If you want extra places, Niece was across the line in 6th with Koi, Fiat McHugh also giving you some hope there. But Theseus, who's been getting progressively closer, looks as if he has repelled Saga, who got going just a little bit too late. And there are the extended places. Niece is 6th. If you get any extras, then Koi's on the near side, possibly headed by Fiat McHugh for 7th place. The Britannia, I don't think it is in the balance. I think Thesis has just held on. Saga got close for Her Majesty. Maybe she can go one better in our next race.
And do you remember 3 years ago, these colours, the Juddmonte colours, broke Frankie's heart, biometric that day. This there's Thesis. And Ryan Moore, Her Majesty the Queen, refers to as her jockey, as we saw in that feature earlier on with Ryan. He might not be quite so popular now. About to hit the front, Jason.
Yeah, he goes and commits on the far side. You can see Frankie launching his challenge. Jimi Hendrix, who was trying to back up that Haydock victory. Who Put 50 in You, the only one from this side to make a challenge. But how bizarre for all the riders to edge over to that particular part of the track. They've completely shunned the high number draw. You had no chance whatsoever if you were in that little small field who were trying to come up that part of the track.
Confirmation Thesis has won. And the pink colours on the left there. Ryan Moore sticking his left hand. Here comes Frankie. Second from the right, Hayley.
Yeah, Ryan's horse has just sort of looked left slightly in towards Frankie, but it hasn't made any difference whatsoever. It is interesting because they've actually edged right up the straight rather than coming over to the left. So Frankie was drawn 18, Ryan was drawn 10, and they're furthest across. So, I mean, this is his horse's handicap debut, so that was an exciting one. See what happens next.
Here is the winning rider once again, Ryan. The way the race panned out, was that how you expected it to be with the majority of the field over on your side?
No, but he's a very, very talented horse, and I couldn't believe I got beaten him twice already this year. He's got beat 3 times in maidens. He needed a big field. He travelled beautifully, and he quickened up well. And and still a bit babyish in what he's doing, still learning. It's the first time he's won a race, so delighted that he's entered it.
Just looking at him, I mean, he's a gorgeous-looking son of King, but he's very similar to his sire in many respects. But in your opinion, he's a long way away from the finished article, judged by the size of him as much as anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mentally more than anything. He's still learning what he needs to do, and we can get him a bit better. He'll win some more.